recorded live right here in Little Rock, Arkansas. It's time again for Larry's Rants, Raves, and Reviews. And now, here's Larry.
Well, today is our happy day. We are back in the studio, and we've got a wonderful friend here. We've actually alluded to Cathie from bringing us different guests, Enrico and Richard and different ones, and she's always said over here in the studio.
Yeah.
But she's the superstar of tonight.
You got that right.
Episode.
You got that right.
Pressure.
Cathie Dorsch. And we appreciate you coming on. We've had this on the books now because she is real popular, and we've had to book it out in like a month or a month and a half. So good to have you.
Schedule.
Thank you for having me. I have been waiting for my opportunity to be on Larry's Rants and Raves and Reviews with Randy.
We go way back.
We do. We go a ways back. We go back 3 hair colors for me.
That right.
And that's right. That's the truth.
That's why I got my premature gray was from
Kids
like you.
Mine was premature gray too.
Kids
Television
like you.
did it to both of us.
Wow. Maybe that's why I'm losing my hair. I don't know.
Maybe
The
you get
media
into,
and hair. I'm just telling you.
You get into this and no telling what happens.
I'm going to be buying extensions soon.
Well, one good thing, if you have a bad hair day for the video channels, you can put these headsets on and it covers up a whole lot.
Did you bring a pup? Did you bring Penelope with you?
I don't tell her. I left her at home in the closet.
I had somebody asking about her. So I just Penelope and Bad Butch.
And
I was Bad Butch.
This is Bad Butch right here. For those of you who are listening who should
let's go throw some rocks at carbs. Hey,
you're just going to be here for a while.
you're just going to be here for a while. You understand that?
We had one bad guy in every show, and it was always Randy. He was Bad Butch. And I literally had a new follower on TikTok the other day that grabbed and said, I recognized your voice immediately. My family and I, we talk about Bad Butch all the time.
Oh, wow.
That's it.
Wow.
So Bad Butch fans are still out there.
Okay, so what they're sitting there reminiscing about.
Go ahead.
You kind of jumped over a thing here.
Get to rant.
That's okay. I don't have anything to rant about. This is going to be one of the nicer podcasts that I've done. I don't want to rant at such a wonderful lady as Cathie, Yeah. I'll go off the air and rant at you for a while, but,
Or Randy can rant about me because I'm sure Randy has a few rants he would love to get out about my early days.
We were going to talk about, the past. I said, we can talk a lot.
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm afraid of after hearing all the Butch stories here. Cathie was the children's pastor.
Children's pastor at Agape Church.
At Agape Church. For how long?
A long time.
Oh, see, she didn't want to.
About 100 years.
She doesn't want to allude anything to her age or anything like that.
About 100 years. I started when I was 12.
And the puppet thing was you were alluding to was because you made, what is it, Kids Like You?
We did. We started a show, Kids Like You, in 1984 that was on KARK.
Okay.
And we were the hot topic of children's television, the 80s.
Right. Mm-hmm.
And unregulated children's television was amazing. But when it became regulated, then stations had to start carrying children's programming, and we were there for them. And so Kids Like You aired on Channel 4 in Arkansas, on Kate 8 in the Jonesboro market, and then began slowly getting picked up by LaCie Broadcasting, Family Broadcasting, and ultimately through the years was picked up by Trinity Broadcasting Network. So was in production for almost 20 years.
Wow.
And we were doing children's ministry, kids camps, camp meetings, you name it, all kinds of fun things like that. Kept me young. I was dragging Abby around the country with me the whole time while I was doing that. I see that it just hit some muscle memory for Randy. Did you just notice the groaning?
I did.
From field production with children? He loved it. He was so cut out for that. He was the guy.
Randy is probably more animated and vocal this particular episode than I've ever seen him on any other.
What does that say?
We just go way back.
But it's, I will say, Randy is kind of like the MASH radar character. He could make anything happen electronically. We had to so piecemeal everything that we did in the field. Victory Television Network, KVTN, was being launched in those early days. But Kids Like You didn't have its own gear.
No.
And Randy could just put anything together. And we finally got enough money to buy a camera. We bought a Ikegami camera for in the field, took beautiful pictures. And Randy was the tech support and that got us off the ground for all those years.
I saw a program on how they made the Andy Griffith show, and it was all, if you see any of those shows, it was done with one camera.
Really?
Yeah.
Yes, one camera, all the shots and everything, and that's the exact way we had to do Kids Like You.
Yeah.
All the show, that whole show.
One camera.
All the puppet scenes, all the outside scenes, all the inside scenes, all the story times, all the whatever it was.
Yeah.
One camera, and everything else was done in the editing room. Crazy.
Yeah. And it became a full-time job.
Yeah, it was.
It became a full-time job. As I said, we're kind of jumping all over the map.
You're
Sorry, Larry.
okay.
We have
No.
just hijacked your podcast
you have
here.
not.
So
No.
Put that other camera on me, Larry.
This is going to be Randy's Rants and Raves.
I'm kind of
This is
leaning
the
back.
Quad R right here. Quad R, Randy's Rants, Raves, and Reviews. But when
I got you. There, it's both of us now. So.
Okay, there we go. When we started this in the 80s, Agape Church had founded, I think, became a church in 1979.
Something like that,
1980. It started with the camp meeting, I think, in 78, 79. I was still in Bible school, came back from Bible school. God spoke to my heart and said, I want you to go back to Arkansas and help Happy Caldwell with the harvest that's coming in Arkansas. And so I left Bible school, came back to Arkansas, and we were a part of what was the old strip mall.
Used to be the
Target
Woolco
Shopping Center.
Target, Woolco.
And
Shopping center.
we started there. We were all there
John
in the
Burr Road,
beginning.
wasn't it?
I have a scrapbook of all those pictures.
You know, that building's gone.
I wouldn't be surprised. That's probably because it's 40-something years ago. Yeah.
I try not to drive over there very often, but he is correct. It is gone.
Terry Nance told me, he went by there and said, man, thank God that building is gone.
Wow.
They said, no telling how many wires they saw up in that attic.
Well, they put the
just no
revenue
telling.
office in the other end of it.
They did that
It's
for a
all
while.
gone. The only thing there now is the Arvest Mortgage, the bit where the Target used to be.
Right. Yeah.
And we started, I think, with 2 or 3. The Caldwells started. We were in the original staff, I think, with Terry Nance. I came into it in that first year or so. And we had to just keep annexing suites to take over, to make room for more children.
Sure.
And we were young families, and so my grassroots in ministry was with kids. I had been in children's theater, actually, at the Arkansas Arts Center.
Oh.
I was the Wicked Witch of the West, so I haven't always been as nice as I am now.
That's where you got that. It all
Shame on
makes
you.
sense now.
Shame on you.
It makes sense. I feel completed. Those
This
those
is the
20
animated
years feel
Randy.
completed. Now I know.
Explains a lot, doesn't it?
Yes.
So I went from children's theater and attempted to study that in college at SMU, and then that's when I went to Bible school and came back. So doing children's ministry, there came the opportunity to do children's television.
Yeah.
And our lives really changed once we brought Kids Like You into the dynamic of church, and the Caldwells were on TV, and Randy had a lot on his plate at that time. Everybody had a lot on their plate at that time, but the children's program was like the Muppet Show. If you're old enough to remember the Muppet Show,
I remember the show.
like the way scenes changing and set changes and different characters. Kids Like You was like that. Lots of action, and it moved and had kind of a little story time, like Randy said a minute ago. It was kind of like Captain Kangaroo's story time. I'm really showing my age with that.
Yeah, really.
But there was so much to it that it was coming to a point that somebody was going to have to work full time. Like, this isn't going to just fit conveniently into his schedule or into my schedule. And I remember
That's where we're trying to get the podcast to.
when it hits, it hits.
Yeah.
It hits. And we were in a production meeting. Randy, myself, I think Ronnie Caldwell at that time, and Pastor Caldwell had to step in because Randy was like, okay, somebody has got to take this over. This is too much. Someone's going to have to manage the show all the way. And I broke down and cried, which I hate to do as a woman. To cry in front of men in a staff meeting, I think is very unprofessional. And, but but the mother in me, I had a 2-year-old at the time, and I really just wanted to stay at home and raise my daughter and be a support to the ministry and not work full time. I was committed to my family, but I heard the cry of his heart. So I'm crying. Pastor Caldwell's trying to comfort me. I'm humiliated because I'm crying in front of all the men in the room. I had to excuse myself, and I went to the bathroom in the back of the auditorium and wept really hard, and I felt the Holy Spirit come into that bathroom. And I felt the Lord. You know, there's times that you can feel the Lord just comfort your heart.
Oh, yeah.
And there's times that you can feel like, okay, now I know what to do. Like you feel the word of God or something counseling you. But I'm telling you, a presence stood in front of me. Like I could feel the Lord in the bathroom with me. And he just kept saying, will you pay the price? Will you pay the price? He was asking me to commit full time to kids like you at that time.
That's powerful.
And it so struck me, first of all, that God is with me in the bathroom. I mean, in my moment of suffering, he's willing to talk to us anywhere. We're willing to listen. I responded to him with a covenant challenge. Like, okay, I will do this. Yes, if you step in and take care of my family, that you're with my child, you're with what I need help with. That, in other words, let's walk together. That's what the Lord says to all of us. Let's do this together. He doesn't throw you into something and expect you to just sink or swim. He wants to, that's why Jesus came. He wants to dwell with us, be with us, walk like us, have us walk like him. And so I answered a call that day in the bathroom. I don't know if you have even heard me share that story before.
That's first time.
Wow.
I
sat on that for a few
remember
years,
the meeting.
didn't I? Yeah. It should have changed for you a little bit with me after that, because I answered a call that God wanted to do something, and the Lord absolutely took that program all over the world. Within the next several years, our lives changed, the church changed, things changed, but Kids Like You kept going and going all over the world.
Sure it did.
It was picked up by God TV. We even were, there was a company that took it to be able to put Asian subtitles for certain Asian languages so that the children watching in those countries could learn English. If they could see their native subtitles on the bottom, they could learn English while we were speaking English and the characters were speaking English to a children's program. I'm not smart enough to think of something like that. But God literally took that little program with Bad Butch and Daisy and Jeremiah and the characters and took it around the world. And it's still on the air today.
Yeah.
Is
it really?
Still out there. Yes. You can find the reruns there.
You just can't put them on YouTube because they give you get into all the copyright problems that we didn't have back then.
Right.
Now, we got away with, because Agape had the ASCAP, CSAC, and BMI license to where we could air all those, any music at all, period, that we could air because they paid the license fees. But now, because of all the license fee problems and stuff they have now, especially with YouTube, you know, it's all restricted. There's ways of getting around that, but I think you have to, it's a lot of money to do that. We can look into that.
And, you know, one of the beautiful things that showed me about that, like that moment in time, that showed me how God thought. He wanted to reach children. He wanted to be where kids are, and kids are in front of the televisions. They still are. They're in front of a screen now all the time.
Absolutely.
So you're not going to fully reach children without technology. That genie is out of the bottle since, what, the 60s, 50s or 60s? So it taught me that God wanted to have something that children could feed on and that would nurture their soul on television, where they could get to it, where it could be recorded for them. And he continued to show me that. There was a time, you know, I went through a divorce in the ministry, which was devastating to me. It was horrific. You know, anyone that's ever been through a divorce knows that it's traumatic. And our life was in the fishbowl, so it was a very dark time, very difficult. And so we were going through that, and I was contacted by a network of stations that wanted to pick up kids like you. And I remember having this beautiful conversation with the manager of that network that represented like 12 different stations at the time.
Mm-hmm.
We agreed on the show, and so he said, well, I just want you to know that I'm putting the contract in the mail today. I just wanted to have this conversation, and it'll just renew from then on. So when the contract arrived, it was dated to my birthday. The contract was dated to August the 7th, and it was one of those birthdays that I had told the Lord, I am in this dark chapter of my life. I just need to hear from you.
Yeah.
I just need something that is a birthday gift from you. And when that contract arrived for 12 stations, free of charge to air kids like you every week, dated on that date, and then every year renewing on my birthday.
That's fun.
How about that?
I thought, wow, again, this is how God thinks. He thinks, what can I do for people? What can I do for children? What's meaningful to him is when we reach our world. So it's been an amazing journey. I'm telling you that it took me all over the country. I've met beautiful people that work with children. I've met beautiful children. I've seen God do miracles. It's been such a great joy to have that in my reflections, including all of our blood, sweat, and tears. Because we did pay a price to do it. We did pay a price.
You always do.
Yeah.
So.
Well, and to bring you out of the dark ages there.
Yes,
Go ahead, Larry.
exactly.
Go ahead, Larry.
That was really mean, but now you could take those same videos and run it through AI, and Mean Butch or whatever you were,
Bad Butch,
Bad Butch, he can speak any language. I remember when a pastor was talking about they're going to start using AI, and they're going to take all of his sermons, and they run it through AI after he's recorded it. And it will immediately put it into any language that they want it to. He said, the opportunity of reaching the world has only become even better through AI.
Wow.
So when y'all start that
kind of
new
have mixed
project,
feelings about that, but I can see where there's certainly good things like that.
Well, he preaches it. All it's doing is changing the language. That's the only thing. It's not changing the content. It's changing the language.
Right.
So y'all could, when you pick that up and want to take it across the world the second time.
Great idea.
Well, there you go. Just pay, 10% or so to me. I'll appreciate that. Okay, so that's kind of what you did. You were the children's pastor at Agape. You birthed this, you grew it, and honestly, in all seriousness, I remember my children watching it, and it was just a phenomenal success for you.
See, that's how old I am, because your children are grown, and I'm aware of that. So, and you're also a grandpa. Yeah. So I know how old I am, Larry. Yeah. I'm comfortable with that. I've embraced my age.
Have you? Because I asked her 4 times the other night how old she was. She wouldn't tell me. I don't think she's embraced anything.
I know, but I won't tell.
But you are now a blogger. Yeah. You're a TikToker. You're on Instagram, Facebook, on all the social media.
Makes it sound like a lot.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you are pretty active. Every time I hop on some social media, I kind of see you doing these short videos and all. Tell everybody what you're doing now.
Yeah, what are you doing now?
Well, thank you for that. When I stepped away from my full-time world at Agape Church in Little Rock, I launched a nonprofit called Commission Fields. People have asked me, why didn't you just name it your name or something? And I'm sure that would have been easier maybe to remember. But Commission Fields, it was from a scripture that I had read in the Amplified. Paul talks about some men plant, some men water, but I'm not trying to labor in someone else's field. I will labor in the field that I'm commissioned to.
Okay.
So that's just been a scripture that resonated with me about the things that God commissions us to do are in fields, and the fields are everywhere. Every field is a place of commission. It could be teaching kindergarten. It could be in some other form of education, raising a family in the workplace, building houses, doing podcasts. Every one of us have a field of a commission to fulfill. So I had stepped down. I had finished a master's while I was still working, and that was, I thought, not an easy task. So when the opportunity came to do the PhD, I thought, no way, I'm going to try to work And I had a lot in my heart that I still wanted to do. You know, that's another message that I have for Christians, and especially for women in our culture, that it is never too late. I was in my 50s before I got finished my bachelor's and got a master's, and getting north of that when I started a PhD. And most people get their PhDs a whole lot earlier than that, but it's never too late. You can do whatever you set your mind to do, and that is something I learned from my dad early in life. He used to say to me, "Kate never did do nothing."
That's right. Yeah.
And, you know, his inspiration for me to always keep trying and keep going meant that it didn't matter what decade of life you're in. You just do what's in your heart to do. So when I finished my PhD, I launched that website, started recording my thoughts in the form of a blog. There's not a ton of blog entries, but tried to also start writing some books. I published my dissertation, which was about Emperor Constantine, raising Constantine and facing the effects of the world's Christian emperor. Did a little book for a paper on idioms, and then kind of took the collection of my children's world ministry, the world of children in ministry, and republished a little mini book that I had, Confessions for Raising Winning Kids, and added to it and put out a gift edition, so republished Confessions for Raising Winning Kids. So doing the writing part and the studying part helped to open up and really fostered relationships that I had and still have in the Jewish community. Became friends with some wonderful Jewish family that have become my family. And a lot of times in that statement, people will say, "Oh, do you mean Messianic?" No, I actually mean Jewish people who practice Judaism, and we are wonderful friends, and I've learned so much from them. We've been in Israel together, and that relationship particularly that gelled in 2017, 2018, we started doing projects together in Israel. And so that's been a primary emphasis for me in commission fields, is helping to teach the next generation why it's so important that we have a healthy and biblically accurate relationship with Israel, why that matters. Just like it's important for you to know the word, it's important for you to interpret the Bible, and your role is to support the land and people of Israel.
And I know that a couple of your friends, Richard Summers and Enrico Ravana, I got it right, didn't I?
Yeah, I think so.
See there?
Yeah.
And I've tried to put that Italian accent thing on there. That
nobody can say
totally
it like he can say it.
No, that's very true. Very true. But we've recorded some podcasts with them, and wonderful episodes. You introduced us to them, and we will continue to use Richard. He lives in Israel.
Yes.
And so he'll be our correspondent in the field there. And he's agreed to that, and we so appreciate that. But your blogs can be found at commissionfields.com, correct?
Correct.
And all your books are there?
Yes.
Okay, I've got your books laying here on the table, but they can find all of your books. Do you go out and speak in different venues very much?
I do. When I have the opportunity, I love teaching about all things Israel and sharing tidbits from the Hebrew alphabet and the things I've enjoyed learning and the things that I enjoy telling moms. I love talking to middle school and high schoolers. I have some great relationships with schools.
Oh, okay.
So still love addressing students and love doing professional development for teachers. Love talking with communities about why they should support Israel. I'm kind of a mixed bag, Larry. I just kind of have a lot of things I like to do. So, and I love to travel. So
Randy says that you're so brilliant that you can pretty much handle anything that
I want to hear Larry. Way. I want to hear Randy really say that. Yeah. I have my doubts.
He only said it once, but he meant it.
It's a great compliment. Thank you.
And so if anybody really wanted to get a hold of you and say, hey, we'd like for you to come in and talk to our children's ministry department or something like that, you could go in and handle that.
I would love
and different things.
I would love to connect any group, Sunday school, you name it. I would love to connect them with Israel.
So, okay, well, I mean, now you're thinking about doing some different videos, if you will, online You're thinking about maybe a YouTube channel, Rumble channel, things like that?
I would love to bring back some of the never seen before episodes of Kids Like You.
Oh.
Yes.
They're out there.
Yes.
They should be out there, I should say.
Yes.
They should be out there. There's some beautiful, Kim Nance, for example.
That's right.
We had this conversation the other night. She is Native American Indian, and she did some beautiful stories for us that we recorded in South Dakota in the Badlands. And we visited the Pine Ridge Indian Reservation together, taped some shows there.
Oh.
We were in field production for Kids Like You all over the country. And so those episodes are beautiful, and we need to get those out where people can see them more.
So those never aired?
They did air, and they're still out there. But to be able to just watch them on demand or something like that, I'd love to see that be
maybe there's somebody out there that could help us financially to get the copyrights for all the YouTube. Yeah, I know it can be done. It's just it's going to cost to do that to get the copyright approved so we can air those shows, because it's a lot of a lot of Christian older music and stuff like that, but it's all licensed with the ASCAP, CSAC, or BMI, and we just got to have those YouTube permission. And I know they're just going to want funds to do this. Just money talks. I mean, it's one of the things we say: follow the money. It's money talks to get that on there.
Sure.
And so maybe somebody that's listening.
We did a lot on a shoestring budget for all those years, and we tried to find free songs like the artists. I will never forget the Tripp family. Always let us use their music.
Oh, okay.
If you remember the Tripp family.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
And they were so gracious to say, God gave us these songs, no charge. And so we loved finding people like that we could work with and use their music and stuff like that. But we always had to write the printers like HarperCollins for book permission, and you name it. Randy's right. We had a stack of contract things.
I really feel like if Randy will step out of here and go to the restroom, God will probably speak to him about taking that on as a project. So.
I will say, Randy has been an amazing friend for every decade of my life. He's been an amazing friend, and I know God is blessing his life for all those things. For just enduring me, God has blessed him.
There you go.
That's all he had to do was just endure.
Well, we wanted to have you on because we wanted to introduce you to our followers and let them get to know you, because what we would like is from you to come back from time to time. I've got a couple of shows in my head about churches. Let me back up. About kids, okay?
Yeah.
I would like to talk about why we're failing our kids in our churches and why we're failing our kids in our school systems. Folks, if you think your children are safe going to either one of them, you better pay close attention.
Right.
And
I would love to talk about that and drill down on that. I think there's a lot of good and spiritual and natural reasons that that's the case, that our children have been so failed.
The other thing is even if they haven't gone off the cliff, wait until they get to college. That's where that's where they hit the wall.
Yeah.
Right. And statistically, in the last 20 years, they lose their faith in college, and they're in their 30s raising their own kids before they come back to church. Right. So why does that happen?
Well, not to give anything away, because I do have a bunch of notes here, but I'm not going to share them all. Obviously, they don't fit into this program. But here is a headline: Youth Pastor Exposes the Shocking Truth. Why, get this, guys, why 73% of church kids abandoned their faith, and how possibly we could stop it. And so if you're still out here, I know, Cathie, you were, and I'm being serious about this, very successful in your children's ministry and everything. And people looked up a whole lot to you and respected you. And so if you're out there still willing to speak to different congregations or organizations or schools or whatever, and try to give them some real insight on how to deal with children, I just think that you have an opportunity there, and I think that we could even do a couple of podcasts with you on that. So this was kind of your introductory.
Well, thank you for the opportunity just to tell the story and think back. And we have so much to be grateful for in this nation, but our families are hurting, and there's a lot that is on the inside of each of us that we could share that could help hurting families.
I think so, and I think so. I'll get some ideas together, and we'll have you back fairly soon.
Well, thank you,
and do that. But I do want to encourage everybody, go to commissionfields.com and please go there and take a look at her literature, take a look at Cathie's blogs.
Yeah.
Follow her over on TikTok. You'll find her on Facebook and Instagram. I see a lot of her stuff there. So I would encourage everybody, go follow her, because I think she's got a lot of wisdom and a lot of knowledge, and I think that you would really enjoy. I've watched several of her videos. They're very short. In fact, you said you do a lot of these videos, or a lot of the kids ministry stuff, Kids Like You. You did a lot of it outside. I noticed you still do a lot of your stuff outside.
Right.
You were out standing beneath a tree somewhere, probably in your yard.
Probably Mills Park. But we always were in parks. We never had our own studio. Still don't have one.
Right.
So, so you're ahead of me, Larry. You and Randy have a studio. It's awesome. I love it.
That is until Randy sells this house, and then we're going to have to do something else. I don't know. So. Anyway.
Well, thank you for having me. I've enjoyed getting to crash the set of this amazing podcast.
Yeah. Okay, you can suck up all you want, but we're having you back anyway.
There you go.
Hey, folks, come back and see us next episode, and be sure and go to commissionfields.com and follow Cathie online and listen to what she has to say. But we hope that you will have a great day.